KVS. Welcome you all in another biology session for senior secondary on the topic tissues and other level of organizations. Now you all can easily see the structural similarities, also some variations in the morphology of the living organisms. Now what are the living organisms? Plants and animals. तो आप plants और animals में बहुत सारी similarities और differences observe कर सकते हैं around you. And if we study internal structures, we can also find the similarities and differences in their internal structures also. इसी तरीके से हमें internal structures में भी कुछ similarities और differences मिलते हैं. And the study of the internal structures is called anatomy. तो जो हम internal structures की study करते हैं उसे हम anatomy बोलते हैं. Now you also aware of unicellular and multicellular organisms. So in unicellular organisms, all the functions are performed by a single cell. तो unicellular organism में सारे काम, सारे functions, सारे vital functions एक ही cell perform करता है. Now what are these functions? These functions like digestion, respiration, reproduction, etc. And the example of unicellular organisms like amoeba. So in amoeba, all the functions are performed by a single cell. But when we talk about multicellular organisms, they show division of labor. Multicellular organisms, there are many cells, as the name suggests. Multicellular, multi means many, cellular means cells. So multicellular organisms are made up of many cells. So in multicellular organisms, we find division of labor. Now, what is this division of labor? Division of labor क्या है? So division of labor means division means to divide. Labor means work. So in multicellular organisms, work is divided among group of cells. जो vital functions हैं, वो group of cells के बीच में divide हो जाती है. So in the complex body of the organism, like multicellular, the same basic functions are carried out by different group of cells in a well organized manner. So वो सारे काम एक बेस जो सारे basic functions हैं like digestion, respiration, reproduction, ये these are carried out by different group of cells in a well organized manner, and these group of cells are called tissues. So let's explore the topic tissues and other level of organization. Now I'm going to share my presentation. So today we are going to discuss tissues and other level of organization. So let's start the class. Now our objectives for this session will be to define tissues, classify plant tissues. We will discuss what tissue is exactly, and we will also classify plant tissues. Then we will go through the name of various kinds of plant tissues. We will also discuss the theory, that is tunica corpus theory and histogen theory of cell division. Or then we will classify animal tissues. So we are going to deal with the plant tissues as well as we will also discuss animal tissues. And we will discuss and describe the structure and functions of various kinds of epithelial tissues. We will also discuss various types of connective tissues. Then we will also talk about structure and function of muscular tissues. Then we will also observe nervous tissues. So let's start the lesson. The very first question which arises is, what is a tissue? So as we discussed in multicellular organisms, we see division of labor. That is, function is divided among group of cells, and those group of cells, they are known as tissue. So a tissue is a group of cell with common origin and structure and function. So these group of cells, ये cells का एक group है which have common origin, इनकी origin एक ही तरीके से होती है. Structure and function is also common, and the study of tissues is called histology. So the branch under which we discuss study tissues is called histology. So here you can see a single cell it is a single cell, and when various cells they group together and start performing the same function, then we call them tissues. And these tissues they together form organ. So let's start with the plant tissue. Now plant tissue, we can divide plant tissues into two. One is meristematic tissue and another is permanent tissue. So these are the two kinds of tissues. And meristematic tissues, these are growing zones. These tissues they keep on dividing only, right? And meristematic tissues can be further divided on the basis of their location. We can divide them as apical meristem, lateral and intercalary, right? And permanent tissues they stop dividing and they start performing a particular function, then we call them permanent tissue. So meristematic tissues these are growing these are dividing tissues, ये dividing cells होते हैं. और permanent tissues which stop division and they acquire a particular function. ये division रोक के एक particular function perform करने लगते हैं. So permanent tissues can be further divided into simple and complex. Permanent tissue को हम फिर simple और complex में divide करें. So we will discuss all these, but let's make a mind map so that it would be easy for us to trace it. And simple tissues, then we will discuss parenchyma, sclerenchyma and collenchyma and sclerenchyma. And when we talk about complex, what are complex tissue, we will see later. We will discuss phloem, xylem and phloem. So here you can see meristematic tissues, they are present at the zones, that is apical zone like shoot or root. And permanent tissues, here you can see in this figure, sclerenchyma tissues, collenchyma tissues and parenchyma tissue. So let's discuss all these tissues one by one. So first of all, we will take meristematic tissues. Now meristematic tissues, these are the growth in plants is largely restricted to specialized zones of active cell division. So here active cell division take place at this zone. Active cell division take place, and that's why they are known as meristematic tissues. So these are the zones where active cell division take place. Meristems. So meristose means divided. So they keep on dividing, and we can find them at the tip of roots and shoots. Produce primary tissues called apical meristem. So we get apical meristem at the tip of roots and shoot. हमें टिप पे रूट और शूट के apical meristem मिलेगा. Now root apical meristem occupies the tip of the root as I told you, while the shoot apical will be at the meristem. It occupies distinct most region of the stem axis. So apical meristem it will be present at shoot and it will be present at root tip. So here we can find apical meristem, and during the formation of leaves and elongation of stem, some cells left behind. जब ये apical meristem grow कर रहे होते हैं तो कुछ cells पीछे छूट जाते हैं, and from shoot apical meristem they constitute axillary buds, and these buds they give rise to leaves. तो जहाँ पे ये छूट जाते हैं वहाँ पे फिर leaves वगैरह develop होती known as axillary buds. Now the next is intercalary meristem. Here you can see. So these are the meristems, intercalary meristem, which occurs between mature tissues. ये mature tissues के बीच में मिलेगा हमें intercalary meristem. and they occurs in grasses. Very important point that they occur in grasses and regenerate parts removed by grazing herbivores. So herbivores जब घास खाते हैं तो ये इंटरकैलरी मेरिस्टेम्स ही है जो बार बार रीजनरेट हो जाता है होता है and so they occur in grasses and regenerate parts removed by grazing herbivores. Both apical and intercalary meristems are known as primary meristem. Very important point it is that both apical and intercalary, they are known as primary meristem. ये primary meristem हम बोलते हैं इन्हें, that is apical and intercalary. Because they appear early in the plant life. इन्हें primary क्यों बोलते हैं? क्योंकि plant life में पहले appear होते हैं, पहले आते हैं and contribute in the formation of primary plant body. Plant body का primary part बनाते हैं. And now the next is lateral meristem, also known as secondary meristem. We also call it secondary meristem. हम इसे secondary meristem भी बोलते हैं. And as the name suggests, the meristem that occurs in the mature regions of root and shoot. So these we get as mature regions. ये हमें mature regions में मिलेंगे. Mature regions of roots and shoots of many plants, particularly those which produce woody, we can say woody axis and appear later than primary. हमने secondary को कहते हैं क्योंकि ये primary के बाद में आते हैं, so that's why they are also known as secondary meristem, and they are present in mature region. The wood of a plant is formed by these lateral meristem. So let's discuss. So here you can see again, this is apical, right, meristem, and you can see leaf primordial. As we discuss, apical growth में जो cells shoot जाते हैं पीछे, वो leaf primordial या leaf को generate करते हैं. Lateral buds arises from here. Then here you can see core cambium, vascular cambium, right, and at the tip we get root apical meristem, right. So these are lateral meristem, apical, lateral, and this is also apical meristem present at root tip. Now we come to next, permanent tissues. Now when we talk about permanent tissues, we divide it into simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissues. हम इन्हें दो में divide करते हैं, simple and complex. And formation of primary plant body, specific regions of the apical meristem produce. We come to that later. But permanent tissues, they are simple or they are complex. Now simple are made up of single type of cells. जो simple permanent tissues होते हैं, वे एक ही तरीके के सेल के बने होते हैं, and we divide them as parenchyma, sclerenchyma, and collenchyma and sclerenchyma. And complex permanent tissues, they are made up of different kind of tissues working together, like xylem and phloem. So the when we talk about primary plant body, जब हम plant के primary plant body की बात करते हैं, then specifically we divide it into two. During the formation of the primary plant body, specific region of the apical meristem produce dermal tissues, ground tissues, and vascular tissues. तो अभी हमने क्या पढ़ा था? Apical meristem पढ़ा था. And apical meristem के cells divide होते चले जाते हैं, and after certain interval of time, they acquire a specific function, and then they give rise to dermal tissues. So dermal tissues बनाएंगे ये आगे जाके, or then they will convert into permanent tissue, and then they will also form ground tissues. The dermal, as you means the outer cells, ground tissues like cortex, and vascular tissues. You can also study in this fashion that apical meristem, as we discuss, apical meristem क्या होते हैं? These are continuous dividing zones. After division, they acquire a permanent function. And what they give rise to, ये आगे जाके क्या बनाएंगे? They will make dermal tissues, they will make round tissues like cortex, dermal tissues like epidermis, and vascular tissues like xylem and phloem. So we call them permanent tissues, and we divide permanent tissues into two: simple and complex. Now let's discuss what is the difference between मेरिस्मेटिक टिश्यूज एंड परमानेंट टिश्यूज में क्या अंतर है, अब हम वो डिस्कस करते हैं. So here we come. Now merismatic tissues, they are continuously dividing cells, whereas permanent tissues, they do not divide continuously but they acquire a specific shape and size. अब ये division बंद कर देंगे और specific shape acquire कर लेंगे and they start doing specific function. And cell wall is thin in merismatic tissues, whereas cell wall, it becomes thick in permanent tissues. Nuclei are large because only they have to keep on dividing. In permanent tissues, nuclei, or we can say nucleus, is small. Vacuoles are absent because merismatic tissues, they don't have to store anything, so vacuoles are absent. But vacuoles are present in permanent tissues. Right? Metabolic activities are at high rate. They keep on dividing, whereas permanent tissues, they acquire a specific shape and they start performing specific function. So metabolic activity is at low rate. Cells are undifferentiated in merismatic zones. They only keep on dividing and keep on dividing. वो सिर्फ division कर रहे हैं, differentiation नहीं हो रहा है. And when they differentiate, जब वो एक specific function acquire कर लेते हैं, then they are now under the category of permanent tissues, we call. And merismatic tissues, these are simple tissues, whereas permanent tissues, we divide them into two: simple and complex. So now we are heading towards permanent tissues. हम permanent tissues को थोड़ा और discuss करेंगे, explore करेंगे. And the very first is, like, we are going to start with parenchyma. So we are going to start with a simple permanent tissue. And the very first one is parenchyma. These are living cells. Living means that means they have nucleus. If you talk about their structure, they can be oval, round, thin wall, with sufficient cytoplasm, has prominent nucleus and intercellular space. And prominent nucleus है इनके पास, and that's why they are living. Intercellular spaces are there, so you can see the spaces. These spaces are intercellular spaces. That is space between two cells. And cell wall is made up of cellulose. Remember, their cell wall is made up of cellulose. So this is transverse section, TS, and this is longitudinal section, LS. And in longitudinal section, you can see prominent nucleus. There is a vacuole, large intercellular spaces are present. And if we talk about their function, they make large parts of various organs in most plants. They act as storage cells because they have large vacuoles, so they can do storage. The parenchyma carries out photosynthesis also. So parenchyma, we can divide them into two, chlorenchyma and erenchyma. Parenchyma cells भी दो में डिवाइड हो जाते हैं टिश्यूज. parenchyma cell tissues, chlorenchyma and erenchyma. So chlorenchyma, they contains chlorophyll and they carry out photosynthesis. So where they are present, their location, they are present at the pith and cortex of the stem or root. We can also find them in mesophyll cells, like chlorenchyma. Endodermis of seeds, we get these. Xylem and phloem, they also have parenchyma, and they occur in leaves and stems of aquatic plants. So, aquatic plants, when we talk about parenchyma, let's see. Parenchyma, it can be divided into two. So these are the types of parenchyma. One is erenchyma and another is chlorenchyma. Erenchyma, which has air spaces, as the name suggests, and chlorenchyma, they have chlorophyll. So you can see in these palisade cells are having green color pigment known as chlorophyll. film, and they are known as parenchyma. Parenchyma, they have air spaces. So what are their function? How they are different from each other? So let's discuss that. Parenchyma is a type of parenchyma tissues, and parenchyma is also a type of parenchyma tissue which contain chloroplast and do photosynthesis. Whereas parenchyma, they contain air spaces. parenchyma में air spaces present होते हैं, mainly found in aquatic plants. So parenchyma contains chloroplast, and inside chloroplast we get chlorophyll. And parenchyma, they contain large air spaces. So these air spaces, they provide buoyancy. So air spaces, they provide buoyancy and help aquatic plants to float. In air spaces की वजह से plant को buoyancy मिलती है, एक upward thrust मिलता है, and they keep on floating. Whereas parenchyma, because they contain chloroplast, they undergo photosynthesis. They help in photosynthesis. So where we will get parenchyma? In mesophyll cells of green plants. This is a mesophyll, and we get parenchyma here. Whereas parenchyma occurs in stems and leaves of aquatic plants. Diagram where this is of parenchyma. You can see air spaces make plant easy to parenchyma. अब हम next discuss करेंगे parenchyma. Pollen means glue, and these are also living. We talk about structure. These are जो parenchyma था उसमें thin wall था वो, और उसमें cellulose की बनी हुई cell wall थी. But parenchyma, they have thickenings more in corners of the cells. यहाँ पे you can see cells corners पे thick deposition मिलता है, and cell material, wall material is of cellulose and pectin, और यहाँ पे cellulose और pectin, so pectin deposition is there. And as you know, if corners are deposited with these pectin, what will happen? Intercellular spaces will reduce. Intercellular spaces present होगी, पर वो parenchyma के comparison में कम होंगी. And again, since it's a living, so we can see nucleus. It also has a vacuole cell wall which is thickened at the corners. Corners में thickening है. So here you can see. This is longitudinal section and this is transverse section. Now, if we talk about their functions, it gives mechanical support to the plant body, especially in many dicot leaves and green stems. Since leaves they bend, stems they also have to bend, so it provides mechanical support in bending of these parts of a plant. And so here they are present. So main function is mechanical support. And so where we will get them? Distribution occurs in the peripheral regions of stem cell leaves. Peripheral region में हम ये parenchyma we will get. Now we come to the next one. Parenchyma. Remember, we are still discussing simple permanent tissues. So the third one is sclerenchyma. Scleros means heart, and these are dead. So parenchyma and parenchyma were living, but sclerenchyma is a dead tissue, and sclerenchyma consists of thick wall, and walls are uniformly thickened with lignin. इसकी walls में lignin का deposition होता है, and so here you can see structure of sclerenchyma. It consists of long narrow cells with thick and lignified cell walls having a few or more numerous pits. We can see pits also. इसमें बीच में हमें pits भी मिलेंगे. Deposition इसका होगा lignin का. And they are usually dead without protoplast. They do not have protoplast. These are dead on the basis of variation in form of structure, origin and development. तो उनके structure, origin और development के basis पे we can divide it into two: fibers and sclerates. So as you can see, structure is different in fiber and sclerate. The fibers are thick-walled, elongated and pointed cells. So these are pointed cell. Elongated तो है ही, साथ में these are pointed cells. Right? We are talking about fibers, and pointed cell generally occurs in groups in various parts of a plant, and sclerates are spherical, oval and cylindrical, highly thickened dead cells with very narrow cavities or lumen. इसमें lumen हमें narrow मिलेगा. As you can see, the lumen is cavity, and so it is commonly found in fruits like guava, pear, right? So we get sclerates there. So जब आप guava or pear you chew it, you get a crunchy sound. That is due to sclerates. And seed coats of legumes, leaves of tea, we get sclerates there. So if we talk about function, sclerenchyma is mainly supportive tissue which can withstand strains and protect the inner thin-walled cells from damage. So its main function is it is a supporting tissue, and distribution, fibers occurs in patches or continuous bands in various parts of the stem. तो इनका फंक्शन जो है वो सपोर्टिव है, तो ये हमें प्लांट्स के कई पार्ट्स में, स्टेम्स में मिलेंगे. Sclerates occurs commonly in fruits as we discussed, and seeds, and present in some leaves in large numbers. और leaves में भी हमें मिलेंगे. So here you can see it is tabulated, differences in a table form. Sclerates usually broad, oval. Fibers are elongated, narrow, thread-like, pointed. End walls blunt, क्योंकि oval है. End walls tapering, pointed as we discussed. Occur single sclerates, whereas fibers they occur in bundles. Deep veins, and fibers they have narrow veins. So sclerenchyma, which are basically tissues, and on the basis of their structure, origin, we divide them into sclerates and fibers. So this is an end of our permanent simple permanent tissues. Difference between collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Their sclerenchyma are dead cells, right? And collenchyma, these cells contain protoplasm, whereas sclerenchyma, these cells do not contain protoplasm. Cellulose, deposition of actin is there, whereas sclerenchyma cell walls are lignified. Collenchyma, lumen or vacant, cavities are more. Right? If we differentiate between the two, we discussed the plant leaves, they move along with the wind, they show some bending, it is due to collenchyma, whereas sclerenchyma purely provides mechanical support. So here you can see difference. Parenchyma, which is thin wall, under microscope they look like this. Collenchyma, they have thickening at the corners, and sclerenchyma cells, they have cell wall is lignified. The portion is there. So this is a microscopic view. If we see a section of a stem, we can see parenchyma, sclerenchyma, and collenchyma. Here it is an epidermis. So let's come to next. Xylem. So what we are talking about now? We are talking about complex tissues. अब हम जिसकी बात करने जा रहे हैं वो है complex tissue. Now why they are known as complex tissue? Because they are made up of number of cells. Right? So these are complex tissues made up of more than one type of cell. So they have more than one type of cells, and that's why we call them complex tissue. More than one type of cells are present. It is having four elements. So four means more than one: sclerates, vessels, fibers, and parenchyma. So that's why xylem is a complex tissue, because it is made up of more than one type of cells. And xylem, in Greek, xylem means wood. So xylem, it constitutes wood in a plant. Let's see the structure of xylem. So here you can see xylem is made up of tracheids. Here you can see tracheids are there. They have vessels. So what is the difference between tracheids and vessels? Uh, like the main function of xylem is actually transport of water and minerals from root to leaves, and it contains two type of conductive cells, tracheids and vessels. जो water conduct होता है xylem में, उसमें mainly two cells they mostly contribute, that is tracheids and vessel elements. And these vessels is a long cylindrical tube-like structure made up of many cells called vessel members, each of lignified walls and a large central cavity. So जो vessels है वो cylindrical होता है, as you can see here, right? So this is vessel, and the vessel cells are also devoid of protoplasm. इसमें protoplasm नहीं होता है. Vessel members are interconnected through perforations in their common walls. यहाँ पर जो here we get perforations, यहाँ पे pores मिलते हैं जिससे एक दूसरे से connected होते हैं. And the presence of vessels is a characteristic features of angiosperms. Right? In gymnosperms, vessels are absent. So presence of vessels is the characteristic of angiosperms. Now, if we talk about tracheids, tracheids are elongated tube-like structures. So these are the tracheids. Right? Tube-like structures. They are also thick and dignified walls and tapering ends. इनकी ends जो है वो tapering होगी. These are also dead without protoplasm. So remember, xylem consists of four elements, and basically tracheids and vessels, they contribute in conduction of water. So here let's see. Here you can see tracheids, they are tapering, whereas vessels they are cylindrical and they have perforated plates. So here again there will be another vessel. So these vessels they join each other. There are pits also. Yes. So various vessels they join like this. And tracheids they have narrow tapering ends. So here you can see tapering ends. And how they are arranged. So this is vessel element. Along with this you can see tracheids. Then you can see fibers, xylem fibers, again dead, and then there is a xylem parenchyma. Okay. So out of these four elements, only xylem parenchyma are living. That's why xylem is also known as dead. So vessels are dead, tracheids are dead, fibers are parenchyma dead. Only parenchyma is living out of these four elements, and we know xylem as a dead tissue. Helps in conduction of water. So here you can see how these vessels they are connected with each other, and they conduct water from root to leaves. So the next is phloem. Again, phloem is a complex tissue, and phloem it is consists of four elements: sieve elements, companion cells, fibers, and parenchyma. Right? And out of these, only fibers are dead, and that's why phloem is also known as living tissue. We call it a living tissue because sieve elements, companion cells, and parenchyma they are living in this phloem, and only fiber element is dead. So here you can see how these elements are arranged. So here is a sieve tube. And here you can see sieve tube is surrounded with companion cells. Sieve tube, and you can see sieve tube. At the end of the sieve tube, you see sieve plates. And after companion cells, there is a phloem parenchyma. So phloem transports food material. Here you can see this is how it looks like. Phloem, xylem, and in between there is a vascular cambium. So this is phloem, and it has four elements: sieve elements, which is made up of sieve tubes and sieve plate, companion cells. Now sieve tube elements we are going to discuss. And sieve tube elements, they are also long tube structures. ये sieve जो है, ये tube element जो है वो long और tube like structures होते हैं, arranged longitudinal, lengthwise arranged होते हैं, and they are associated with companion cells. Sieve element is associated with the companion cells, and they mainly take part in the conduction of components. Their end walls are perforated in a sieve like manner. Sieve जिसको हम छन्नी भी बोलते हैं, तो जो sieve tube हैं, they have ends which are perforated. Ends में perforations मिलेगी हमें like a sieve. So this is known as sieve plate. Call it a sieve plate. A mature sieve element possesses a peripheral cytoplasm and a large vacuole. Now if we talk about companion cells, companion cells are specialized parenchyma cells, right? ये specialized parenchyma cells हैं, and which are which are closely associated with the sieve tube elements. Sieve tube elements के साथ closely associated होते हैं और conduction में help करते हैं. The sieve tube elements and companion cells are connected by pits, और ये दोनों pits के through connected होते हैं, present between their common longitudinal walls. The companion cells help in maintaining pressure gradient. So remember, it helps in maintaining pressure gradient. If prepared food it spills out, अगर sieve tube से कुछ भी component spill हो जाता है, overflow हो जाता है, then it comes to companion cell, and companion cells again bring back that material to sieve tube. तो वापस prepared food को sieve tube की तरफ conduct कराता है. That's why we say that companion cells help in maintaining the pressure gradient in the sieve tube. Sieve tube का pressure gradient को maintain करता है. Then phloem parenchyma, they are simple parenchyma cells associated with phloem के साथ associate होते हैं, and phloem parenchyma is absent in most of monocotyledons. So remember, phloem parenchyma बहुत से monocots में absent होते हैं. Phloem fiber की बात कर लेते हैं. Phloem fibers, their main function is to provide support. Sclerenchymatous tissues हैं, sclerenchyma के बने ही हैं ये fibers, and their main function is to provide support. Now phloem fibers की अगर हम बात करें, so phloem fibers, no, they are supportive and like jute. If we talk about jute, what is jute? It is a fiber. Flax, right? Fiber, hemp. So they are commercial. Phloem fibers of jute, flax and hemp, they are used commercially. तो इन plants के phloem fibers use किए जाते हैं, as you know, jutes से बहुत सारी we make various objects. And so this is about phloem, made up of four elements. Sieve elements, which has sieve tube and sieve plate, companion cells which maintain pressure gradient in the sieve tube, and they work in coordination, they work. And then comes phloem parenchyma, and the last is phloem fibers. So here how they are arranged, we discussed it. Now let's discuss conduction in xylem and phloem. Xylem phloem में conduction कैसे होता है? So here you can see this is a diagram of phloem, and on left hand side there is a diagram of xylem. So it is a one way only. Conduction transportation of water is in one way from root to tip of the plant. No end walls between the cells. Cells के बीच में end walls नहीं होती हैं. Water and minerals are transported. Whereas in phloem, it is a two-way movement. Food which is prepared by leaf, it will go to the shoot tip as well as it will also go to the root tip. So it is two-way movement. Right? And cells are living but need support. As you know, phloem is a living tissue, and in this organic molecule is transported, and this process known as transportation of organic molecules take place in phloem. I will come to the next. Also, that is known as translocation. Organic material which is transported in phloem, that is known as translocation. Now, difference between simple and complex. We discussed about simple tissues. We discussed about complex permanent tissues. But what is the difference? So let's recall it once again. Simple tissues हम एक बार फिर से दोहरा लेते हैं. Simple tissues consist of only one type of cells. एक ही type of cells के बने होते हैं. Whereas complex, they are made up of more than one type of cells. In simple tissues perform similar functions. Whereas in complex tissues may perform different functions, like phloem fiber is only for the support. It does not take part in transportation of material. तो complex में जितने तरह के सेल हैं उनके functions अलग अलग होते हैं, but they work together. And simple tissue examples we see collenchyma, parenchyma, serenchyma, and if we look to the examples of complex tissues, these are xylem and phloem made up of 4 elements each there. See the how these cells here, and these are phloem. These cells are phloem. Depends. It can be of parenchyma, it can be of collenchyma, right? And if it is a woody plant, it can have parenchyma also. So this is how tissues are present. Xylem and phloem, they are present here in vascular connective tissue, complex tissue. And simple tissues we get in hypodermis, cortex, and this is vascular bundle. Now let's discuss theories explaining growth. काम करती है अपेक्स और शूट अपेक्स में क्या होता है. So there are two theories of histology. So let's with histology. So according to histology theory, there are according to this theory it was given by Johnson von Hanstein. Johnson von Hanstein. And this theory, it says that there are 3 growth zones present. The outer is dermatogen. इस theory के हिसाब से 3 growth zone में हमें 3 zones मिलेंगे, regions मिलेंगे. Dermatogens, then there is a peribulum and pleurum. तो ये are present. And apical meristem and root. So this theory, it can apply on both apical stem and root. दोनों जगह apply होगी. And it is composed of small mass of cells which are all alike and divide fast. तो इस theory के हिसाब से ये वो cells हैं, mass of cells which keep on dividing, and these meristem cells form प्रोमेरिस्टेम, ये मेरिस्टेमेटिक सेल्स जो हैं ये प्रोमेरिस्टेम्स बनाते हैं विच डिफरेंशिएटेड इनटू 3 जोन्स। जो हम मेरिस्टेमेटिक जोन है हम उसको 3 एरिया है उसको हम 3 जोन्स में डिवाइड कर देते हैं, डर्मेटोजेंस, पेरिब्लम एंड प्लेउरम। And each every zone consists of a group of initial cells or histogen tissue builder, और इन सभी zones में हमें हिस्टोजन सेल्स मिलेंगे जो डिवाइड होंगे। Now, but this theory it was rejected because in gymno and angiosperm there is no distinction between पेरिब्लम एंड प्लेरोम। ये थ्योरी रिजेक्ट कर दी गई क्योंकि जिम्नोस्पर्म और एंजियोस्पर्म्स में पेरिब्लम और प्लेरोम अलग अलग, कभी कभी इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू डिस्टिंग्विश देम। Then a new theory arise and it is also said that these dermatogen give rise to epidermis, और ये माना जाता है कि डर्मेटोजेन जो है वो epidermis of stems बनाते हैं, and epiblema of roots, पेरिब्लम जो मिडिल लेयर है give rise to cortex, cortex फॉर्म करते हैं, and plerome gives rise to central meristematic regions like pericycle, pith and vascular tissues। वेस्कुलर टिश्यूज अभी आपने डायग्राम में वेस्कुलर बंडल देखा था, वेस्कुलर टिश्यूज आर नथिंग बट जाइलम एंड फ्लोएम। We come to the tunica corpus theory and it was in 1924. In 1924 this theory came and it was given by Schmidt. Now this, according to this theory, it consists of 2 layers. इस theory के हिसाब से we can divide, it is applicable on shoot apex, remember जो हिस्टोजन थ्योरी थी वो शूट और रूट एपेक्स दोनों पे एप्लीकेबल थी, बट दिस ट्यूनिका कॉर्पस थ्योरी इज एप्लीकेबल ऑन शूट एपेक्स एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस थ्योरी देयर आर 2 जोन्स। इस थ्योरी के हिसाब से देयर आर 2 जोन्स, एपिकल जोन नोन एज ट्यूनिका, एज यू कैन सी मल्टी लेयर जोन है, एंड बिलो दिस इज अनदर जोन नोन एज कॉर्पस which is a mass of enclosed by tunica. So corpus को किसने कवर कर रखा है? Tunica ने। So here you can see this is tunica and below tunica we get corpus, and this is what we are discussing, shoot apex. The layers of tunica show anticlinal, that is perpendicular to periphery divisions. ये perpendicular divisions show करते हैं, एंटीक्लिनर डिवीजन शो करते हैं, एंड ब्रिंग अबाउट सरफेस ग्रोथ, और सरफेस को ग्रो करने में हेल्प करेंगे। सो व्हाट दिस कॉर्पस डू, दिस सेल डिवाइड इज इरेगुलर। कॉर्पस में सेल डिवीजन किसी भी डायरेक्शन में, पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन में नहीं होता है, दे डिवाइड इरेगुलर फैशन एट वेरियस प्लेन्स एंड रिजल्टिंग इन द ग्रोथ इन द वॉल्यूम ऑफ सेल्स। तो जब ये किसी भी डायरेक्शन में ग्रो करेंगे तो सेल्स के वॉल्यूम को, वॉल्यूम ऑफ द मास, ग्रोथ इन वॉल्यूम ऑफ द मास, ये सेल्स को बढ़ा देंगे। ट्यूनिका गिव्स राइज टू एपिडर्मिस, ऐसा माना जाता है कि ट्यूनिका है जो एपिडर्मिस और कॉर्टेक्स बनाएगा, एंड कॉर्पस गिव राइज टू एंडोडर्मिस, पेरिसाइकल, पिथ एंड वेस्कुलर टिश्यू, राइट। So what we discussed about histogen theory, and we discussed that is tunica theory, tunica corpus. ये दो थ्योरी हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, एंड इन दिस हिस्टोजन थ्योरी देयर आर 3 रीजन्स। यहाँ पे हमें 3 रीजन्स मिलते हैं, राइट। द वेरी फर्स्ट इज that is dermatogen. After that we get another region which is this region it is, and this region is uh, peribrum, and then we get another region inside it, and that region is plerum. And this theory is applicable in shoot as well as root tip. तो यहाँ पे हमें 3 layers मिलेंगे, dermatogen, peribrum and plerum. Whereas in tunica corpus theory, if we talk about this theory, there are 2 regions, tunica and corpus. So there is a multi-layer. Here we get multi-layer tunica, and then we get below that we get corpus. And these corpus divide in all directions. ये सभी directions में divide हो रहे होते हैं, and they increase volume of the cell. And if you talk about tunica, so they divide, right? And this corpus cells, they later give rise to, here they will give rise to procambium. आगे जाके vascular tissues वगैरह बनाएंगे, procambium बनाएंगे. So in tunica corpus theory there are 2 layers, where in estrogen theory there are 3 layers. Let's come to the next. Animal tissue. So now we will discuss animal tissues. Animals are multicellular, they are unicellular also, but here we are talking about various tissues present in animal cells. So, animal tissues, they can be, if you talk about animal tissue, you will be surprised to know that complex animal consists of only 4 basic types of tissues. Animals, no doubt they are more complex than plant, but अगर हम उन्हें ध्यान से देखें तो उनमें हमें mainly 4 types of tissues मिलेंगे. What are these? Epithelial, connective, muscular and that is nervous. And these tissues are organized in specific proportion and pattern. और ये जो सेल टिश्यूज हैं, जब ये एक स्पेसिफिक पैटर्न और प्रोपोर्शन में अवेलेबल होते हैं, प्रेजेंट होते हैं, देन दे फॉर्म ऑर्गन्स लाइक स्टमक, लिवर, हार्ट. एंड व्हेन 2 or more organs they perform together, perform a common function, then they make a organ system. और जब ये ऑर्गन्स एक साथ काम कर रहे होते हैं, एक कॉमन फंक्शन परफॉर्म कर रहे होते हैं, तो ये ऑर्गन सिस्टम बनाते हैं. लाइक इफ वी टॉक अबाउट रेस्पिरेटरी सिस्टम, so lungs, trachea, bronchi, air sac, they work together and form organ system. And when 2 or more organs perform together, they form organ system. Various organ system like digestive system, respiratory system, nervous system, they all make organism. और बहुत सारे organ system मिलकर एक organism form करते हैं, एक organism का part होते हैं. So animal tissues, they based on their functions, we can divide them, broadly classify them into 4. उनके function structure के basis पे हम ये 3 में divide कर देते हैं. Epithelial tissue, and in this epithelial tissue we will discuss 4 kinds: squamous, cuboidal, columnar, ciliated and granular. Then we will discuss connective tissues, which is a second type of tissue, animal tissue. In connective tissue we will discuss areolar, adipose, skeletal and fluid. So skeletal, as you know, our skeletal system is mainly made up of bone and cartilage. तो हम इसमें bone और cartilage discuss करेंगे. Fluids में हमारी body में 2 fluids होते हैं, blood and lymph we will discuss. And muscular tissues, if we talk about muscular tissues, it can be striated, smooth and cardiac. ये हमें 3 तरीके के मिलेंगे अपने body में. And the 4th one is nervous tissue. और last में हम discuss करेंगे nervous. So in animal tissues, these are the 4 kinds of tissues we get. So this is a broad classification of animal tissues. Now let's see each and every tissue, and we will start with the epithelial tissue. So epithelial tissues, as the name suggests, epithelium means outermost. So these are present at free surfaces. ये हमें कहाँ मिलेंगे? These are present at free surfaces. Now what are these free surfaces? Free surfaces क्या होते हैं? So these free surfaces which faces either the body fluid, वो free surface या तो body fluid को face कर रही होगी or the outside environment, जैसे our skin is a epithelial tissue क्योंकि ये environment को की तरफ है, environment को face कर रही है. और अगर ये कुछ cells which face body fluid जैसे stomach की lining, they also form epithelial tissue. So these are present at free surfaces. ये हमें free surfaces में मिलेंगे and these free surfaces may be facing towards environment or they may be facing towards body fluid. So the very first, let's discuss their general characteristics, structural characteristics of these epithelial tissues. The cells forming epithelial tissues are closely packed. Since they are present at the free surfaces, their main function is to protect, to provide protection, so they are closely packed होते हैं ये. No intercellular spaces are present between them, arise from non-cellular basement membrane. So you can see these blue color.
Last 2 minutes, ma'am.
Is the basement membrane. Basement membrane से arise होते हैं and are not supplied with blood vessels. Their main function is they help in absorption, they protect from wear and tear like this, and sometimes they also possess cilia और इसमें कभी-कभी cilia भी present. We come to the squamous epithelium. We will finish this epithelium tissue at least. Squamous epithelium, their structure is flat as you can see in diagram. And what is this blue color? Basement membrane layer. Basement membrane. Flat structure, centrally placed nucleus. So you can see nucleus is centrally placed. Here it is nucleus. Have irregular margins. Their main function is, location is lining of air sacs, lungs, and since they are flat cells, they help in exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen in air sacs. Lining of kidney for absorption, they are present over there, and lining of blood capillaries again for exchange of material. So basically they are doing exchange of material. They are flat cells. We can easily judge function of a tissue looking to its structure. So this is a slide of epithelial, squamous epithelium. Cuboidal, as the name suggests, they are cube-like. Structure is cube-like. Again, nucleus is at the center. Cells appear polygonal. Location, they are mainly in salivary gland and pancreatic duct. So इनका function क्या है? Mainly absorption. So here you can see simple cuboidal epithelial tissue is present. Ciliated epithelium, if cuboidal cell, it contains cilia, then we call it a ciliated. Cilia are thin hair-like, tiny hair-like structures are there, so you can see, and you can see in this diagram, microscopic diagram, where ciliated epithelium is present.
Over, ma'am.
In kidney, tubules, and nephric filtrates. Now I am ending my session here, though we were not able to complete that. We were not able to go through the complete module, but hope it is, or it was interesting and knowledgeable, helping session for you. So we will meet next time and complete the session, complete this